Hi friends, to all the fishing guys out there. I just want to say thanks for this ongoing support from the time I created this channel on YouTube. It means a lot. I met a lot of y'all in person, came to meet me on the beach. I showed some of y'all how to make traces, how to join leader lines on the beach. That is why I'm promoting this channel, is to go out there so that we can teach each and everyone what we do wrong and how to do it right. So I'm just going to run you through some basic tackles. All of us may not be able to afford the same type tackles, but on this first video it's going to be mainly showing you the stuffs that I bought to make this video, and then I'll run you through my tackle setup, like my reels, where you can get the accessories. There's been a lot of requests on comments, people from Cape Town and elsewhere as well. And yesterday I met some guys in Township Hyper. It also makes me feel proud when people recognize me and come and have a conversation. So yeah guys, I'm just going to run you through the basic stuffs, and I'm going to show you how to make the traces. Thank you so much for the ongoing support again, watching my channel, liking and subscribing and sharing the link. We now move on to the table. Okay, during the shad season, this is what I normally fish with. It's a falcon. I use this on my spinning setup. It's much more easier than baiting, and you use this to catch shads. So I use this at a certain time to target my live baits, which is my shad. These are some of the swivels. Number 6, barrel swivel. This is a common size swivels which we use for our cartine traces, our blacktail traces and stuffs like that. Then we also got the Kingfisher brand barrel swivel as well, which is the size 3, which we use for our shad trace, our top bunks. Then we've got our Garrick slider, which is a non-return slider, and this is the stop ring. So I'm going to also show you how to make the Garrick trace as well. The common size sinkers that we would use for scratching, we normally say scratching, would be our 1 ounce and our 1.5 ounce, depends on our rods. This is the Daihatsu hook. The Daihatsu hook, it's a bit expensive. It's a number 6. I normally use it for our mussel cracker and targeting like our other bigger species on it. Then I've got the VMC number 4, which is a needle point hook. This hook is actually used for shad. On this hook, it's a very sharp hook. That is why they call it a VMC. We all know it as needle point. With this hook, when the shad is biting, you do not hit, you pull tight. Once you feel the shad, then you give it 1 hit or 2 strikes, and then you tight. This is a 7 ounce grabnel sinker, which we use for Garrick, our Kingies, our Simons. Some of us know it as Cobb. So I'm going to run you through as well how to make this setup as well in order to attach it to your Garrick trace. This is called a spool belt. Some of us think what this is for. We just want to keep our lines neat. So with the spool belt, you get 2 sizes. You get a large and a small. The small is generally used on the square spool, and the large is normally used on your round spool. I'll also run you through the line. This is what it looks like. It's just to keep the line intact, so it's not lying all loose in your tackle box. I use latex cotton, the latex clear. As you can see, the cotton is very clear, so the fish don't really see it, but it holds your bait a bit firm. And if you saw on my previous video, I made an holder onto my cooler box with the very same thing. These are my scratching hooks. The spear points. Spear points is very sharp. I use the 5/0 for carantines, blacktails, silver brim, but preferably your number 10, which I use for the carantines and other smaller fish for live baits. I always prefer fishing with Sensation Pro Series. This is a number 6. You'll find the number written there and a 4. So I fish with a 6 and a 4/0 for Garrick when it's off season, and in season I fish with a 4 and a 5/0. This is your steel wire, number 8. Remember, we just came off band season, so some of the shads are very big. So I fish with a bronze steel wire, number 8. I'm going to show you as well how to make shad trays. Now I'm going to run you through the lines. When you buy a line, you want to know the pound. Here it says your 50 pound. Here's the diameter of the line, which is 0.65. That's the thickness of your line. So I've got a 0.65. I've got a 0.70. That's on my Kingfisher leader lines. Then I'll take you through to my Maxima range. I've got the Maxima 50 pound, which is 0.7. I normally use for my Garrick traces. Also my Kingfisher 0.7 on my Garrick traces. Then you've got your 40, which is 0.60, which I use for my brusher. I use for my stumpies. Then I've got the 0.55, which is 30 pound. I use for my shad trace or to attach it onto my top bunk trace. Then I've got the 0.24, which is 20 pound. You can use it for all round, like your light tackles and your stumpies, your granters and things like that. And then last, I've got the 0.30, which is 10 pound, which is 4.5 kg. They tell you 4.5 kg, that's your handling strength, but if you exceed past 4.5, it depends on your skill. And yes, you can land a fish that's bigger than 4.5, which I've done before. So guys, on the next video, I'm going to take you through. The first trace I'm going to make for you is going to be a Garrick trace. Then it's going to be a carantine trace. Then it's going to be a blacktail trace. And then I will just run you through with the same grabnel, but I'll just show you how to make the brusher trace. And then obviously my shad trace as well. I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Okay guys, as I said, I'm going to be using the Maxima 10 pound to make the carantine trace. So this is the first trace. I generally measure about a length of my arm, which is about a meter more or less. Just snip off your line. Guys, basically I make this knot here. Grab your line like this, loop your line. You're going to go one turn in, another turn in. Just pull your line like this here. That's your loop. The reason is why I make this loop, guys. It's simple. Sometimes we want to change the sinker. So now, like I said, you can either use a 1 ounce or a 1.5 ounce, depends. So on my spinning stick, I generally use a 1.5 ounce. You just thread the line through here. Okay, some of these sinkers do come, but the holes are not open up. You just gotta use something sharp just to open it up. You bring it through here, you put it through that loop, and then you pull it. So basically that's what it is. From here to here, you can estimate about plus minus 200 to 250. Grab your line, loop it, go one in, another in, pull it tight so you finish off with a loop like this. Always your sinker must sit above the loop that you made. So your hook must sit above this loop knot. Thread it through the high. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll bring it through here again. Once it's there, I'll just pull it to make it a bit tight. Just cut off your excess line. So yeah guys, basically that's your first hook. You're going to come for your second one, round about there. Same principle, loop 1, loop 2. So now we're going to put the second hook. Sometimes we like fishing 2 hooks, sometimes we like fishing 3 hooks. So in terms of the hook, you can decide how many hooks you want to put. But generally with me, I like 3 hooks. You know, they say you want extra hook is an extra chance. So here's it here guys. It's the second hook. Now we're going to go for the third hook. So guys, the third hook is on. Remember I was telling you about this, about the swivel. So yeah, I'm going to be using the barrel swivel, the number 6. Only reason I'm attaching the swivel, I will explain it to you after it's done or in this process. Reason being of the swivel, it makes it much more neater when you're done fishing and you're coming back tomorrow. You just cut off your trace off your main line, keep it away. Next morning you come back, you don't have to start all over again making. So yeah, you just join your swivel back onto your main line and then you're good to go. So guys, this is your cartine trace. Your first hook from the swivel, your center hook, your third hook going to your sinker. Okay guys, the next trace I'm going to show you is a blacktail trace. I'll catch you on the next one. Okay guys, so it's simple. For the blacktail trace, you can either go 2 type lines. You can go 10 pound or 20 pound. Sometimes why I choose to use 20 pound is because when you put a big fillet bait for blacktails on your 5/0 hook, which I showed you on the previous video, what generally happens, sometimes you get the big stumpies that also comes and feed on the bait. You don't want to be disappointed when you do end up losing one. So at this point of time, I chose to show you that I'm going to be making the blacktail trace with a 20 pound maximum. So I'm going to use this as my reel, which is my main line, just to explain you, but on the other end of the line is what I'm going to start doing everything on. So basically it's same barrel swivel, number 6. You're just going to twist your line a couple times, send it through the loop, pull it, that's what it looks like. Cut off the excess line. So here's the trick here, guys. Hold it from there and bring it to just past your elbow, closer to your forearm. Then you cut off this line. So on the one end of this line you've got your swivel and you've got the line. So this part is where we're going to be attaching the hook. So I'm going to use my spear point number 5, which is my blacktail hook. Same principle, the end of the line through the high. You can go as many times as you want, but I normally go between 4 to 5 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Send it back through the high. Not the hook eye, the line eye, where you started off from. And then you just pull it a bit tight. Use something, because sometimes the hook can slip and you can get hurt. Here's it here, guys, with the swivel. So now we're ready to attach it to our main line. In order to attach it to our main line, this is the main line. You're going to use a running sinker. You can either use a 1.5 ounce. You send the sinker through the line, just like this. What stops the sinker is the barrel swivel. You attach this line to the barrel swivel, same principle 4 or 5 times. Send it through the line eye. Cut off your excess. So guys, this is what it looks like. So this is your blacktail trace. The next trace I'm going to be showing you is your Garrick trace. Catch you on the next video. Okay, so guys, now we are doing the Garrick trace. Okay, so to start off this Garrick trace, I'm going to use a number 60. I'm going to use a number 40. My Sensation Pro Series. So on the Garrick trace, I've chosen to show it to you with a 50-pound maxima, which is 0.7. Guys, more or less it's 1.5 meter. So from the point of your hand to here, then you grab again and you come about 0.5 meter. So it's 1.5 meter, guys. You cut off your line. Okay, we're gonna start with a 6 hook. That's your main hook. Get it through there. I'm doing a figure 8, so I'm gonna go 1, wrap around my finger, 2, 3, 4. At the 5th time, I'm gonna come underneath that finger and through this loop. Then I'm going to grab the end of the line and I'm going to spread it out. When I spread it out, why we call it a figure 8? Can you see this? It looks like a number 8. So you just pull it like that and you pull it all this way here. As it gets tight, the knot locks. Use something to hold the hook and pull it till it's tight. Your excess line you're going to cut off, so this main hook is done. You come to the end of the line, you grab the end of the line, you take your 4/0 hook, you push it through the high, you bring it all the way down to your main hook. So guys, this is the important part. You don't bring it too close to this hook like this. You leave it with a little bit of a gap, like that. you hold it there, this bottom hook, your main hook, your line is L there. The excess line, you're going to wrap it around your hook, coming towards the bend of the hook. You're going to come towards the bend. You're going to go 12 times. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. At your 12th time, the line's going to be underneath the hook. You grab your main point line again and you push it back through the high. Guys, this hook is called a carrier hook. As you do that, it's going to look like this here, and then you just pull the line and that hook doesn't go nowhere. So basically that's what you're looking at. This, you're going to hook it onto the shads, behind the shad's head like that, and your carrier hook is going to come exactly like how I'm showing you on this video. So that's why we call it the carrier hook. With all the bouncing of getting the fish out, it does not hurt. At the end of the line, you're going to come to your barrel swivel, which is attached to your slider. You put the hook, the line through, same principle. 5 rounds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You bring it under, through the line. Once it's through, you're going to hold it, spread the line out, make it again into a figure 8. And then you just pull it closer to your swivel. Cut off your the excess line. Guys, the reason is why I'm using the water. You know, sometimes we're in the beach, we just use some of our saliva. So yeah, guys. But guys, this is what you're looking at. I'm going to run it slowly for you. The camera is going to be focused there. So that's your Garrick swim trace. Here's your line. It's about 1 meter. 1.5 meters. So yes, guys. Now I'm going to show you how to put the line onto your grabnel and onto the stop ring. So here I decided to use the Kingfisher 0.7 for my grabnel. So basically it's going to be from there to about where your shoulder is. That's the length. Okay, some of us like putting it on the swivel, some of us like putting it on the stop ring. Most of the time I use it on the stop ring because I say if the swivel gives up, I can't lose the fish. So I'm going to do it exactly the way I do. So I'm going to put the sinker line here onto the swivel. Same principle, 4 or 5 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. In, out, spread it to figure 8. So yes, guys, the line is locked onto my swivel. About 1/2 meter. This is a swivel on your grabnel. Same principle, 4 to 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. In, out, twist the line, figure 8, pull it in, line is locked. So yes, guys, basically this is your grabnel line. Now guys, when you are attaching this to your main leader line, you will attach the leader line to the stop ring. There you'll make it 5 or 6 rounds, and then you make the figure 8 and pull it there. So when your slider comes, your slider stops onto the stop ring like how I'm showing you. So there is no excess of the slider coming all the way down to your grabnel. It'll stop exactly around about here. So yes guys, this is your Garrick trace. As you can see, the sinker stops there, but the trace still runs down. So yeah, reason is why we make a longer Garrick trace over a meter to a meter and a half is the bait survives much more longer with the current in the water. Guys, last two more traces. One is going to be the brusher trace, and then I'm going to show you how to do the shad trace. Then we will edit the videos and we will keep you updated. Guys, this is a different type. It's a BKK power swivel. This is what the power swivel looks like. So I'm going to be using this. Normally you get both the power swivels that are interlinked like that. I couldn't get that, so I had to buy it separately. It's a very expensive swivel. It only comes 6 in a pack. I'll be using 2 of that. My Daiichi number 6 hook. This trace here is for the brusher. Some of us know it as muscle trap. So when you use a 0.70 line, you can use a lighter line as well on a grabnel. You just twist it a couple times. You're going to send it through the line eye like this, not the swivel, the line eye, and just pull it tight. Okay guys, somewhere around about halfway here, you put a knot on the line. Knot it up like this and just pull it. Reason is why I'm doing this is sometimes you are hooked with the brusher. Your sinker is stuck because you're using a heavier line. It's harder to break it. So once you put the knot, the tighter the knot get, the weaker the line get at that spot, and you can still land your fish. It happened to me more than once or twice, but I still managed to land my fish. So it's just a little bit of advice. It's a learning skill, not to myself, but to all of us. We all learn from each another. Now I'm going to do the figure 8 on the hook. So you know the drill, 4 to 5 times. Under, in the circle of the line. Pull it out into a figure 8. Add a little bit of water. Pull the line together. Make sure you use something to hold the hook so the hook don't slip, and then you get hooked. So yeah guys, your brusher bait, the line has to always be longer than your swivel. So we're looking at about just over half a meter. So I'm just going to show you what I'm talking about. I'm just going to hold the line here with the swivel. Bring it up like this here. So that there is a bit too long. So you're just going to pull your line before making your knot. And this is what you're looking at from your swivel point to where I'm holding the hook. That's your brusher trace. You can use a muscleman crab or you can use a mussel. So I'm going to loop the line now and join it up for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Under, and out. Make it into a number 8. Pull it tight. Excess line is removed. So here's both the point of the swivel. So this is what your brusher trace looks like. Okay, now I'm going to show you on the next one, how to make a shad trace with a steel wire and the hooks. Okay guys, so remember I told you I was using a bronze number 8 steel wire. That's the steel wire. I know it's a bit hard for you to see it, but yeah. Number 8 defines the thickness of the wire. I did mention to you I fish with VMC's needlepoint number 40. So yes, I'm going to use 2 of that. I'm going to use the barrel swivel. I mentioned to you before on different sizes. So I told you the number 3 is going to be my shad size. That's the size I've chosen. So guys, your steel wire goes through the hook. Just bend it and then neatly you start winding it as a spring. You can go 4 times, you can go 5 times, you can go 6, even if 7 makes you happy. I normally go anything between 5 to 6. Okay, so guys, normally we don't realize this. On the previous video, if you saw, my Uncle Jay was explaining about when you cut this and you're rushing and baiting up, you get poked, you don't realize it. So you're just going to make a neat small little fold like this. Okay, today we have the facilities around us, but in the beach generally sometimes we don't. So you're just going to hold this here and you're just going to wind it a couple times. So by doing that, it actually gives you a better finish and you don't even feel the point of it. So you're just going to measure length more or less, cut off a piece, then we're going to run it through our swivel. So generally your sardines are more or less this length here. So this is going to be your first hook, your long hook. Okay, so this time I did it without using a long nose, just to show you. I just winded it. As I winded it, it broke off, guys. I just want you to see here carefully. You don't see that sharp point. So I'm running my finger back, forth, round. As you can see, nothing's getting caught. So that's basically a factory finish. So that's your first one. Now we're going to do the very same principle on the second one. Your second hook is going to be slightly smaller than your first hook. Reason being, so you've got one hook closer up and one hook more or less in the center. Guys, why I did this, I wanted to show you what I was talking about. Can you see the sharp point here? That's the point. So if it doesn't break right against the main line wire, the steel wire, your chances of you getting hurt here. That is why I did this, so I can show you the one I was twisting and what finish it gave to us. As you can see, that finish by twisting it and this finish by clipping it. So that's a big difference. So I'm just going to try to round this thing up with the pliers. Okay. So the second hook. The first, second hook. The second hook, the bend can be just slightly where the first hook eye is. Or you can bring it a little bit more like that. And then you're going to bend the wire. So guys, I hope by me showing you all these traces, the tackles, that what I use, I hope it's going to help some of y'all. To all the viewers, the subscribers, the followers that dropped comments requesting me on making traces, even asking me to share some of my tackles. I hope this has taught y'all something. And again, like I said, it's not about what I fish with that you need to fish with it. No, it don't work like that. We all must fish accordingly to what our pockets can afford. So yeah, that's now your shad trace. All you do is you attach your line with a float or this onto a top bunk, and yeah guys, you're good to go.